Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P-Funk Thinker, right out here in the lab. What I do, what I do. You know, break the bread down a little bit, like Ace do straight. You know the deal. Rightism, 25 rule to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in and receive them. We got a good thing going. Let's ride. Right Thinker's mission, and that's just what I'm on. You know the deal, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right Thinker's way of life. That's what it is. Through mental and spiritual discipline, daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. That's my mission for all right thinkers to do just that. I'm a shirt mate. I'm a right thinker. Okay, so moving on. If you're down with what I'm doing, that'll be a shirt for you. Let's go. Knowing thyself is the goal for all right thinkers. That's why I give you information and knowledge so you can do just that. You tuning in to get the information so you can use it and do just that. We got a good thing going. Let's rock. Know thyself. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is just foolish. Disregard them. Don't be them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You teach them. You can be them. I love them. Why? That's what I do. That I do for you. Stay tuned. I got you. Appreciate you too. A person who knows not and believe that they know, dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Excuse me. A person who knows and knows not that they know ain't wise. They're asleep. Spiritually, I'm the spiritual alarm clock. I'm here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons, they reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. And to my eye, be true. Today we're going to talk about my favorite, God. Right thinkers, let's talk about that divine spark, the spirit, aka God. Let's talk about if you have given a gift, which is life, and you was given a conscious, which is what you can use to better your life. The spark is divine. The conscious is yours to make up your own mind to do what it is what works for you. The right thing philosophy is you have to find what works for you. I'm just going to give you a few venues and a few avenues to make that possible. Why? Because I know what I've been through and I know what it takes to get there. So that's why I do what I do. It's all for you. We are spiritual beings. Understand that, please. That spirit that we have in us, that's where it's at, in us, is of God. I try to get you to understand everything that's here is of the same God. So are we not part of the creation? I explained to you the story how God created everything, and according to his will, it was perfect. Everything but one thing was missing in all his creation. Him. That's the divine spark that he gave to man and the consciousness to wake up and realize who they are, who we are in the flesh. Let's go. Now the lesson can begin. We are spiritual beings. The spirit that's in us is of God, so that we have to learn that who we are is the same person that created everything. We're all one spiritually. We have to become conscious of that. Heart is God, mind is man. They got to come together as one. I'm trying to make this as clear as I can. Life is God's gift. Okay, understand that. We got the gift. God, oh, I'm blessed. I woke up. All that. Yeah, yeah. But what God's gift is, the life is God's gift to us, all of us. And what we do with our gift of life is our gift to God. If you brought your life that you're doing right now, how you living, and jump to God's steps, you think he would be okay with that? Because at Judgment Day, that's pretty much how it worked out for you. So if you're doing all those sneaky, deceitful things, and you think you're going to be blessed, you out of your ever-loving chicken-picking mind. Understand that. So Faking it, you never make it faking it. I hear that. Fake it till you make it. No, no, no. God don't do fake. If you don't know who you are, and my goal as the right thing with master is to get you to do just that. Know who you are. In the phrase and concept of my man Malcolm, by any means necessary. I got all kinds of things at my disposal to make that possible for those who follow me. That's what I do. It's for you. Moving on. If you don't know who you are, it's up to you to find out. That's your life's job. The highest goal as us spiritual beings to what? Become spiritually enlightened, reach the Nihas through knowledge, education, righteous living, and virtuous things in life daily. We get you to that point. Why? Because your heart would be light. You carrying envy, jealousy, and greed, all the stuff in your heart is heavy conceptually. Life, you have to what? Mentally, excuse me, life is the mental power, aka your consciousness, to what? Make it work. Make it work out right for yourself. Again, everything I teach is self. Self. Why? You got to do it. Knowing thyself is what? Knowing that divine spark of God is where? In you. My purpose and goal as the right thinking teacher is to get you to know that as a student. And once you know it and start living it, you're your own master. Why? You will learn to master yourself. We are, understand this, gods in the flesh, trying to know ourselves. Simple as that. Why? Because the spirit is God. The spirit, you can't do nothing with the spirit but enlightening it. Or just live it, and when you stop doing that, it's just gonna go to another physical body. Why? Because you didn't enlighten it. Your job is the consciousness that was given to you is to enlighten the spirit that God gave you. Also, He's a giver. Got another lesson coming up for that. He don't owe you nothing. Okay, He done gave you everything. We all have what? Life. That's enough right there. AKA that divine spark. But when you become conscious of your higher self, ooh, you are a different being. If I'd escaped that lifestyle, I'd probably been like that. I am now because where I am now because I changed. Why? For the better. As far as I'm concerned, and you can't tell me otherwise. My mom is happy with how I am now. I could care less about anybody else at this point. He's up there. I'm pretty sure he's kind of pleased with it right too. So I do what I do for them too. Moving on. Well, now religions teach you only Jesus was God. I don't agree with that concept. If he had the anointment from God, he got the knowledge that he received to know God, and he went around professing it. That's all I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? But I don't use that. Why? Because we are him in the flesh. When you're doing God's will, when you find God for yourself, you become anointed with the knowledge of God, you have to become what? A servant. So you do what? Preach the gospel, the good news, as y'all call it. I just ain't doing it that way. I'm doing it my way. And he gave me the okay to do that. Evangelism is doing it outside the realm of the church house and all that other stuff. I do what I do right here for you. All you got to do is tune in and receive it. That's what I do. Remember, religion professed that only Jesus was God in the flesh. When you're ready, when you ready, when God, when you're ready to know thyself, you will know then that you're God in the flesh. So you won't have to worry about this other guy who he didn't know. You can do better things than him. He told you that. And all the advice he left, all the stuff that y'all said, ain't none of y'all picking up on none of that. Excuse me. But yeah, I follow my philosophical concepts. I live them. I employ them in my life. Why? That's the only way they're going to work for you. If you're a Christian, you should do the same thing with your commandments. If you're a Muslim, the same thing with your Islamic tenets. Do the same thing. It's no different. So understand that. I just don't practice what you practice. But I practice doing the right thing every day on my terms. I teach right thinking philosophy. Watch this. My right thinkers that an enlightened being is what? God in the flesh. Christians freak out. I could care less about that. I'm just giving you a fact. And if you don't understand that, you haven't reached the level of anointment as a Christ, as a Christian. Okay, become Christ-like. Again, if you're gonna be like him, there's a reason why. He's the prototype of what you should be doing if you're a Christian faith follower. I'm not. I just understand. Trust me. You don't have to be something to understand it, know it, understand it. I know, understand it, but I made the choice to do what I do, which I know and understand also. I have choices. Some people don't have an option. I do. If you don't know you, then you can't know who? Your higher self. I hope you, excuse me, I help you to know you. That's what right there the philosophy does. Get you to get inside yourself, understand yourself, and respect who really is running the show for yourself, which is you. aka your higher self. Oh yeah. Now, knowledge, again, is it the power? Who knowledge is power? No, slow down. That's like having a bunch of weights. Because they're there, don't make you strong once you use them. Once you start using it, if knowledge used that to improve you is what the power. When you use that knowledge and weights every day, you put in that work. Oh, now you get physically fit. When I study and put my time in to learn and comprehend different concepts I can write and teach, that's me putting in my work. Same thing. Knowledge and learning and implementing what you learn. Just learn it. Yeah, you smart. Oh, I got an A average on my test. But did you live it? Or you Christian? They know everything about the Bible, but how much of it are you living for yourself? Knowing all that good stuff is fine, but how much you living? I know a brother who he know that stuff and he live it. I got nothing but respect for that. Right thoughts, here you go. Or what? Are the tools that you use to what? Know God. I'm giving you everything you need to get done what you need done. As an instructor and teacher, that's my job. Remember, the divine spark is God, the creator himself. He is the ultimate, and he created everything else from himself. From what? A thought. Mhm. Right thoughts are the power, and have the power, excuse me, to what? Create just like God himself, the ultimate creator. Everything you create for yourself starts within yourself. You don't create nothing outside and bring it in. It starts out from the end going out. But watch this. But in order for us to create life, we need help. Hence, male, female, come together. You ain't gonna create life by yourself. Two men ain't happening. Two women ain't gonna happen. Why is that? Nature. That's something that man, but he tampering with. He can make life in the jail. He can artificially inseminate the women with the two women that need it. All that. That is playing God. That's all. It ain't natural. But moving on. Okay. But my thing is the thought, the mental concept. You can't do nothing with that except use it. Your thoughts are what? Your imagination. And when you manifest your imagination, you bring your dreams to fruition. It's like anything else. What you think of here, you got to bring out here. Bring it, manifest it, make it happen. Plant the seed and nurture it, water it. Make sure you get the things you need to do and watch it grow. That's what I'm doing with right thinking. Manifest your thoughts. That's what right thinking. Oh, that's really applying what's right. That really using what happens when you do what right. You apply what you know to daily life, and it tells you that's how you grow. Why? Because you're gonna get better at it. Anything that you practice, you should get better at. Oh yeah, yeah. My thoughts are what about what my higher self wasn't then, just self wasn't higher. It was all about that's all ego. Okay, and that's natural. It's understandable. That's why you got to wake up, so to speak, and grow up. Why? That ain't gonna get you nowhere. My thoughts are about what my higher self at this point, aka God. I'm God conscious, knowing, okay, and living and doing what's right. Now, I couldn't say that. I wasn't living like that prior. And I'm trying to explain to young people, if you do that young, that means you take out a whole bunch of nonsensical drama and fetters for your life that you can replace that with good times, fun, enjoyable things, life. Okay? Where we at? Thoughts, aka right thinking, with spiritual truth, will open your third eye. That's where the knowledge of self comes in at. You're doing things that's helping that kundalini rise and rise. And once your third eye is opening, you are spiritually enlightened. Watch this. And the doorway, that's the pineal gland, the third eye, that's the spiritual eye, and it's also called the doorway to God. If you have a calcified pineal gland, fluoride, tap water calcifies it. They find that most people who are enlightened beings, they die with a calcified pineal gland. But nobody talks about that because it ain't important at this point. But the ancients knew that a long time ago. I seen a young kid say, that's the high eye Haru. I gave him a business card. Yo, my man, check me out. I got you. That's why I do what I do. For those who want information contrary to what they're giving them, I'm your man. Okay, moving on. Sorry about that. Here you go. That spark is divine. That's given. Consciousness is knowledge that you can obtain. That's the whole purpose of becoming God conscious. The spirit and the conscious come together as one. That's how you know yourself to be the one. Your spirit spark is of God. Your conscious mind is what you use to what? Know that. The heart don't know. The mind got to know. The heart is what the heart is. The mind needs to know who that is. We are gods. Watch this. With AKA memory loss. Okay? We come into the world clean slate as babies. But we're still spiritual beings. We're still gods in flesh. We just have to what? Become conscious of it. He gave you that to use for that purpose. Animals can't become conscious of being who they are. Had the argument yesterday with my man. He's really didn't get it. I see people who, some of us claim to be conscious, claim to be woke, but at a certain level. And they're going to hover right around there because, yeah, they're not down here. They're a little up here, but they're not up here. He even said, well, man, you little, but I said, I know that, but I'm trying to teach. I'm not here to debate and, no, I'm here to teach. So some of us think they're conscious, so they want no, got a lesson for that. Those who don't want to learn, but they want to teach. Got a lesson for that already coming up. But okay, we are guys with memory loss. Why? Because our conscience have to grow. We have to grow into our consciousness to know who we are. And when you open the third eye, ding, 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 the gateway to all knowledge, aka the Cosmic Records, knowledge of all things opens up to those who expand their consciousness and raise their spiritual level to the heights where they can become God-like with the pioneer third eye open. Here you go. Where we at? About to wrap it up. Okay. Now, what's that? The term? Okay, the term "wake up" means obviously you're unconscious or asleep to what? You're knowledge ignorant of your higher self. So when you gain that knowledge, you waking up, so to speak. Get it? It's just a concept and it's perfect. When you study and you live by your spiritual truth, you're waking up. Why? You become God, you're God amongst human beings. Why? The ignorant don't know their higher self. You walking around him up here. That's why Haru, the spirit, is signified by the falcon. He's up there. And everybody knew that the spirit was up there. That's why we always point out there. Why? Because they that God up there, the spirit can go as high as they can go. That's who you want to be. Haru. That's the concept. People walking the earth, spiritual people fly over. When you study, now the spark is given. Again, that's the blessing of life. It's a gift to us. It's up to who? Us to what? Become what? Spiritually enlightened, aka know thyself and right thinking philosophy. That's my goal, to get every right thinking philosophy follower to do just that with knowledge and understanding. That's what I've got for you. Last one, I'm wrapping up again. I appreciate you tuning in. They were long. The heart mind, aka the spark, is divine. The mind is of man. It's your gift from God to what? Know him. He didn't give that gift to the animals. They don't know God. Sorry about that. I get a little excited. But that's the one ingredient in man that separates us from animals. That's why we got dominion over them. My man. With a kind, big heart, That's God's gift. And when people who do just that, that's what they have. But that's this. Now, when you correct your heart, when you connect your heart with your mind, meaning gaining knowledge, understanding, now you got something. If you just a kind-hearted person, you just gonna give. You give to everybody. No distinction. I'm not doing that. Why? I'm a good guy, kind of heart. I just ain't giving to everybody. Why? I got the wisdom and knowledge to know who deserves and who don't. That's the difference. And he also conscious of that. Also, pure hearts. Watch this. Pure heart are the ones that only do what? Good things for others, not bad things. If you're a good person, you do good things. I wasn't always a good person. Now I'm a good person. I do good things. Sometimes I don't want to. Sometimes I don't feel like it. But that's when spiritual discipline kicks in and you do what's right. That's when you change. That's when you raise your conscious level from being just that person who's going egoistic. I'm gonna satisfy my ego. I'm getting better at that. I'm really getting better at that, and I'm feeling good about that. But your pure mind, here you go, is a spiritually enlightened mind, a self-mastered mind by what? Doing, being, and putting in the time and work to know thyself through the work that you put in, due diligence, and put into practice on a day-to-day basis. Excuse me. When you purify your heart, how you do that? Doing good deeds, performing selfless service, giving daily lessons of right isms. I just threw that one in there. All right, now, when you're pure of mind, you have reached Nihas level. That means you have accumulated the knowledge that's there for you too, and you implement it, you lived it, you manifested. Now you know yourself. That's Nihas. That's becoming spiritually enlightened with knowledge of self and living and practicing Maya philosophical concepts for yourself. Last one, thinking right, living right, understanding the divine, and using your spiritually discipline to do what's right on a day-to-day basis. That's having control over oneself, aka self-mastery, aka right thinking philosophy master. I wish you all the best. Continue to stay and studying and doing what you need to do for you. I got more for you. I'll be back.